I bet somebody ain't come in here and screamed in 30 years, but they used to. They used to.
Okay. Dale Earnhardt Jr., driving the number 88 National Guard Chevrolet. What's it feel like to win the Daytona 500?
Man, it feels incredible. You know, you just, I was lucky enough to win this race in 2004, and it's the greatest feeling you can have as a driver in NASCAR on a single event, single day. And just trying to explain what that feeling is to people. I've been trying to tell people for 10 years what that felt like, and it's just hard to put it into words what winning this race really means to you. And as an individual, you know, I felt lucky back then because I was with a lot of family and working with Tony Sr. and Tony Jr. And that was a great team. Had my uncle Danny on it, a lot of the guys that worked with my dad for years on this nationwide team in the 90s and even in the 80s. But it just, what makes this special is the people you're with when it happens. I have a great relationship with my crew chief, Steve. He's put an amazing team around me that we all really enjoy working together. And Rick's here to make all that possible. It just seems like it's too good to be true, really. We ended last season on such a strong note. And in the garage area at Homestead after the race, we were standing there tearing apart race cars and talking about how great the season was. And a lot of these guys, like Jason Burdett, he's been in this sport for a very long time. He's my car chief. Said that was the most fun he's had in a season in the sport ever. And that was the biggest compliment that anybody's ever. I took it as a compliment for me personally, but I know he meant he was really enjoying himself. But that just really summed it up to me that this group's unique and special, and that's what makes winning this race that much more special. Obviously, it's the biggest race and the most important race that we run, but the people you do it with really is the icing on the cake. And we all really are best friends and enjoy working with each other. We pull for each other. And lucky enough to have Amy with me, and my sister Kelly and LW, and my staff, Mike Hogue, Laura, that helps with HMS, all those people. We grind every week throughout the season. So it just, when you got great people around you, it just makes that whole experience so much more and so much more special.
And Dale, I'd be remiss not to also ask you, as you mentioned earlier, with this win, what do you think about the chase?
Yeah, we don't have to think about it. We don't have to think about it. That's if everybody is telling the truth, and we've won a race and we should be in it. So I'm not going to worry about it. Now, if I got to win two of these things, I don't know if we're that worried, but because we're going for the juggler this year. This is a good analogy for Steve. I've been using with him.
Am I on the go-kart?
Yeah. Well, you know, when you're a kid, and especially when you grew up around racing, me and all my buddies would go to the pay-to-ride go-kart ride wherever we were at, whatever racetrack. And every track, Talladega, and all them places had them. We'd get $100 from Daddy and go ride go-karts until the wheels fell off, until we ran out of money. And on that last ride, you let it all hang out, and you didn't care if you get kicked off. If you didn't get kicked off, something was wrong on the last ride. So this is Steve's last ride. So he's going to let the rough side drag all year, and he's got a little racing left in him, and I think he's going to try to get it all out. And so that's good for me. And I'm fortunate to be on the ride with him, and this is his first Daytona 500 victory. So I was glad to be a part of that and to be part of the team that helped deliver that for him. So but yeah, making the chase is important. I didn't anticipate having to put that to bed so quickly, but we'll go ahead and concentrate on winning more races. Because like I said, at the end of last year, we felt like we were right on the cusp of doing just that, winning races. And we're turning the corner right at the right time. I got one last year with this guy, and we're gonna make it something special.
Steve Letarte, just talk about the significance of tonight's win.
Man, I don't know if I even know it quite yet. It's Daytona. It's a place you've been coming. I've been coming my whole life, 20 years in the sport. And I remember even before that coming as a little kid with my dad and watching him run around here. And, it's just, it's like when we sat in the driver's meeting today, when they announced the guys that were in the Hall of Fame and all the great drivers there, they don't say how many times they won Martinsville or Bristol or Charlotte. This is a 5-time Sprint Cup champion and a 3-time Daytona 500 champion. And, any race that they decide when you win it, you're the champion of the event and not the winner of the event. It kind of sets it apart. And that's really what this is all about, is to come down here. You come down here, I think everyone in this room could be a resident of Florida as much as we spent in Daytona over the years. And you spend so much time all winter long working on cars, and everybody brings their best stuff. And these races are hard to win. And we've been very fortunate to run second the last 2 years, and I've seen them put our car in positions that it really shouldn't be in at the end of these races. He somehow makes something happen. And he said it best earlier in the victory lane. For the last 2 years, we've been that car in third, fourth, or fifth, trying to figure out how we were going to beat the leader. And coming here today, we decided that if someone was going to win it, they were going to have to pass us. We wanted to be the leader at the end, and that strategy worked. And it only worked because he held it. We had a pit stop there with more than 50 to go, so he held them off for a long time, and we got help from our teammates, and it's the whole thing's kind of surreal. I don't think I'm quite eloquent enough in my words, I guess, to describe it all. It'll probably sink in. Well, maybe never. We'll see. It's a big day.
And Rick, congratulations. Certainly you've won many big races and won this one several times. But just talk about the significance of this win by the number 88 team.
Well, I think I like to listen to these two guys talk, but this is really special. I mean, after last year with Dale and Stevie running so good and 5 second-place finishes, the new format this year and locking in the chase. I saw him put the sticker on the car, and to win the Super Bowl here, he drove his butt off tonight. I mean, he made some phenomenal moves, and Stevie called a great race. TJ did a heck of a job spotting. I mean, it was flawless all night, and but this race is so big, and it is our Super Bowl, so it'll carry us. This team, and I'm excited to watch them. Just now, you're in the chase. Just go race hard and have fun. And I think it makes a statement how good they were last year and carrying it forward this year.
Questions now from the floor. If you have one, raise your hand. Jim Peltz.
Dale, Jim Peltz of the LA Times. It seemed like no matter who was behind you, who was pushing you, or who you were trying to block, that you didn't have any trouble sort of maintaining your lead. I mean, was there anybody who gave you a particular problem tonight?
Biffle was rather, competitive, and he was the guy I saw quite often. My teammate Jimmy knows what to do when he gets up there, and he's my teammate. So when he is leading the race and I'm running second, it's in that particular moment, it's in my best interest to protect both of us. So that presents a unique challenge. We just had such a great race car. I'll tell you, and you guys know this place. You got to have a lot of car. The guy that wins this race has to make some smart moves and do some things either by luck or on a whim or experience or what have you. But the car really does the majority of the work, and just the car has to be excellent and above par. And so my car tonight, I knew it was something special. I didn't know it was as good as it was tonight, but in practice and a couple times throughout the weekend, I noticed that it was something unique. And when we got the opportunities to sort of work our way into the lead and hold it, and I was able to fight guys off, like you were saying, and able to hold the lead and keep moving from line to line. And I learned a little bit about what I needed to do to really kind of hold the position. The outside line work best on the straightaways. When they're all side by side behind you, the outside line gets to run on the straightaway, and the inside line gets to run on the corner, and you just get in front of each line, depending on where you at on the racetrack, and just keep watching guys, watching how they're tight together, and whether they're pushing each other, and you can sort of anticipate the run coming, and you just sort of jump in front of it, and they shove you away. But the car has to be something special. Not every, typically if the car isn't anything special, you get diced around, and guys can make a fool of you and send you on back into, outside the top 5 kind of easily. But our car was able to battle and fend off guys left and right, it seemed at times.
Let's go in the back. Bob Pockris, George Diaz. Bob Pockris first, and then George Diaz.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. Dale, you were talking to Steve on the radio before those final laps, just kind of about how nervous and how you couldn't really enjoy it at all. I'm curious, did you have that same have you had that same feeling when you've fallen short, or was there something about tonight that made it any different?
No, you always have that feeling when you're sitting in position, when you're close enough to the front to win races. There's a lot on the line. It's a big race, and you want to win it so badly, and your team wants to win it so badly. You realize at that moment, especially inside of 20 laps to go, and you're in the top 5, you realize at that moment that there's countless people watching on television. There's countless people sitting in the grandstands with your shirts and hats on, and your team over on the pit wall, your crew chief, your family back home watching. There's so many people pulling for you that want to see you win. It's a heavy weight. and it's just, you get so caught up in trying to do what you can to make that happen. And when you finish second or you fall short, it's really disappointing. You're proud of that effort inside somewhere, but outwardly it's you're disappointed because winning's all that matters when it comes to Daytona. They won't really remember you for running second a lot. So it just and it's such a great feeling. It's such a great feeling that you want to do it again. And I know that I'm grateful to have won it twice now. I was grateful to have won it once, but in about 6 months I'll be as urgent to try to do it a third time as I was after the first.
Let's go to George Diaz, and then we're going to go to the press box. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dale, George Diaz with the Idaho Sentinel. And for Steve, too. Was that tape deal, was that much ado about nothing, or was that a concern as you were coming down the final laps?
I had no thought about it. He said that the grill was half covered. We had 2 laps to go. We were cycling the engine trying to save fuel, so that was bringing the temperature down quite a bit. And so I knew that the motor was going to be fine. And if anything, it would help us. Anytime you add tape to the grill, you speed the car up. So if anything, it was going to help my car. They could have taped it solid for all I care. Those last 2 laps, it would have been fine. I don't know how Steve feels about it.
No, I mean, I think he's right. Basically, once we saw the white, we knew that wouldn't be an issue. But he's right. We knew at most we were going to run 2 laps at a time for maybe a couple times. So we figured we could maintain, good enough temperatures to do it. But we got lucky. It kind of closed half the grill off. So like he said, I think it was the perfect adjustment. So we'll take it.
Yeah, it was like fate.
Let's go to the press box. Go ahead.
Viv Bernstein from the New York Times for Rick. Obviously, this means a huge deal for your team, but can you step back and maybe talk about what it means for NASCAR to have Dale Jr. in this position this early, and just the bigger picture for the season?
Well, I think you see the fans' reaction, and we were in prime time. It's going to be exciting to see what the ratings were tonight. But Dale's got a bunch of loyal fans, and it's good for the sport. It was good TV. It was a great race, and it doesn't hurt to have him, the most popular driver, win the biggest race in the Super Bowl of our sport. So I think it'll be good for NASCAR. It's good for all of us. It's definitely good for our organization, and it takes a little heat off of me with his fans. so I'm really happy with that.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, Stevie and I know about that.
Stay upstairs. Go ahead, press box.
Jeff Owens, Sporting News. I had a similar question, Dale. A lot of drivers have already been asked about that tonight, about what this means for the sport. Do you have a sense of that, and what is your feeling about people talking about how big this is for the sport, and how much of a weight does that sort of put on you and the relief you feel tonight?
It's not a weight when you're able to deliver. It's a weight when you're not able to deliver. When people say that you're the face of the sport and you're running 5th or 10th every week, it's very it's very challenging. But because you want to deliver and you're not delivering, so this is this brings me a lot of joy, and I look forward to going and doing all the media all week long and representing the sport. And it's I don't know that I realize how big a deal it is, but I know I got a lot of fans that are really happy, and really enjoyed what we did tonight, and can't wait to go to work tomorrow to brag all their buddies around the water cooler. So Monday's gonna be a fun day for a lot of people in Junior Nation.
Dale, I think you got a former Daytona 500 winner here wants to congratulate you.
Congratulations. Thanks, DJ. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Sorry to interrupt. This old guy's got to go to bed.
That's right. Thanks, Dale. Okay, I think we have one more in the press box, then we'll come back downstairs. Go ahead.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Congratulations, June. You got the Meyer brothers breakfast moved to a lunch. Can you do that with the champions breakfast too?
I don't know. I won't complain too much if tomorrow, but I might be a little slow, but I'll be there nonetheless. Now, I'm looking forward to the entire week. You just don't get to do this every week, so I'm going to really embrace this whole experience, and I won't be home for a while, but it'll be well worth it, and I think I'll have some fun even throughout the process.
Did you really think it would take 10 years to get back to this particular victory lane? I mean, you are so masterful when it comes to restrictor plate racing, and we always expect you to be one of the contenders. Did you think it would take this long?
Yeah, I did, because the competition has changed so much. I was talking earlier about how when we was winning all those plate races years ago at DEI, there was a bigger tolerance between the field, and our cars were just so superior compared to most people. About the only organization that could run with us was Rick's, and otherwise, it was, we were just out there running by ourselves, and the competition, the way the rules are, and the way NASCAR has transformed over the years. There's no room, between the competition. There's just no tolerance. Everybody's basically got the same car out there, and it just comes down to who can make the right moves. Granted, our car was definitely extremely unique tonight and special. One of the best cars that I think Steve's ever put on a plate track in his career. But I knew it was going to be challenging. As soon as I sat down in the driver's meeting today and looked around in that meeting and just seeing all the talent in that room, I knew it was going to be a difficult day for anybody to win this race. And it's only going to get tougher as sports just growing tremendously and getting so much more competitive every year.
Let's come downstairs now. We're going to take Tom Jensen, Jay Busby, Mike Hembry. Tom Jensen, Jay Busby, Mike Hembry.
Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Congratulations, guys. Stevie, from a practical standpoint, now that you're locked in the chase, what does this allow you to do maybe differently that you wouldn't be if you had to be fighting for a spot?
Oh, I think without a doubt, all the crew chiefs on pit road understand the risk versus reward, and there's a line there, and it's it's hard to explain. It's like a return on investment. You know, there's a number there that everybody knows how many positions you're willing to give up versus how much of a chance you really have to win. And I think that opens our window tremendously. I think now, you know, it's easy to say you can run 20th and go for a win, where if you're racing for the points, you know, you can't afford to give up 20 points. So when they come out with this point system, we talked about it a lot, especially at media day, and I don't think it changes much before you win. Like, I don't think anybody can take any bigger chances than we already take to try to win. But I think once you have won, it gives you an opportunity to really take, you know, borderline ridiculous chances. I mean, it really does. It allows you to really, if there is a slim chance, that's really all the chance you need. And you know, we've been very fortunate to have good runs, and there's been a lot of seconds and a lot of close calls, and run out of gas at 600, and a lot of stuff over the years that I think those opportunities are going to come around more often now.
Let's go to Jay Busby, then to Mike Embry, and then to David Caravello.
Jay Busby, Yahoo Sports. Dale, do you think that you could have won this race 3 to 4 years ago, given what you were facing, you know, tonight in terms of the talent that was running up behind you?
I tried, you know, we just, you know, it just takes, you know, I'll be honest, there's something about the car that you sort of connect with the car. That car that I drove tonight, we got along, and, you know, we worked as a unit. You know, it just happens, and it, you know, it's hard to explain with this guy sitting next to me. But the cars that we've had in the past, I drove them all week down here at Speed Weeks, and I just didn't have that 100% confidence in either the car or myself or us as a unit to be able to drive it with you know, the confidence that you need to win. And, yeah, that car tonight, man, it was just doing so many great things, and I could depend on it. And when I would ask it and put it in certain situations and expect it to do what I wanted it to do, it did it. And because the cars are everything at Daytona and Talladega. So, you know, I think I do a good job of drafting and understanding the draft and knowing what to do, when to do it. But you can't without the right car. And the difference between the right car and what I've been driving is this much. I mean, that's how close it is out there. And you know it when you got that much more. It's a obvious gut feeling you feel from the seat of your pants. And that car was just ready to go, man. And it was just asking for everything that I was giving it. And just people just, I mean, I felt like I was just out there just beating them off one at a time, man. It was awesome. So just an amazing car. Sir? No, it's proud. I put one in there before, man, and it's a good feeling that it sits down here and the fans come and take pictures of it. I sign autographs of that thing. I'll sign autographs of that thing sitting over there all year long, and it'll give you memories will come back to you from tonight, and it's a great thing.
Go Mike Embry, David Caravello, and Jenna Fryer.
Mike Embry, USA Today. Dale, do you expect Mooresville to burn to the ground tonight?
Yeah, as soon as I said that, I was like, oop, that was probably not the perfect choice of words, but I was exploding inside. So, yeah, as soon as my mouth opened, everything just came on out. But, yeah, we, you know, that's how you feel. You know, that's the emotion that you feel when something like that happens to you. Imagine in your profession, the greatest thing that could happen to you. And, you know, that's what happened to me tonight. So I was able to I just couldn't contain myself.
You talked about the car earlier. Did you know before the delay that the car was going to be that good? And how tough was it to wait for the 10 hours or whatever we waited to get back in it and do that?
Made it easier, actually, to wait, knowing that we had such a good race car. Typically, when you and the car aren't on the same page, and it's like I said, it's just that little bit. You grow concerned about what do you need to do, and the to win the race, the slope got steeper and gets steeper with every lap. And tonight, as we drove and even as we waited it out, I just knew we had enough race car, and then the onus was on I was a little bit nervous because the pressure was on me because there was plenty of car to do it.
Go to David Caravello, Jenna Fryer, and then Jim Utter.
David Caravello, NASCAR.com. Dale, it was not lost on Austin Dillon tonight that you won the first race. His car number was in. And I wonder, is there anything poetic or special about that confluence given the relationship between the two of you?
Yeah, I thought about holding up the three fingers as I was driving down the front straightaway, but I didn't want to really bring too much attention to all that, or I just want Steve and Rick and the team and everybody to enjoy this experience as it should. But it felt so comfortable all week for that number to be back, and I'm happy with that situation. I'm happy for Austin. He's you guys have gotten to know him over the last couple of years. He's got a great head on his shoulders. He appreciates the history of the number. He appreciates not only what it meant as an Earnhardt fan, but what it meant for his family. It means something entirely unique to him, separate of my father. So I appreciate that, and I'm happy for him and Richard. They're really enjoying that experience together. That's got to be something special, have grandfather and grandson to be able to do that together. So I'm very comfortable. I had not thought about it once all week because it just seems right.